One of my favorite cycles of matter is the water cycle. Water is continuously moving between oceans, the atmosphere, and land. It also moves through and outside of living organisms, like you. The first step of the water cycle is evaporation. Evaporation is when the heat from the sun causes the molecules of water in the lakes and oceans to heat up and move faster. The form of water that's like this is called water vapor. Water can also enter the atmosphere through the process of transpiration, which is when water is evaporated through the leaves of plants. The water vapor then rises up to the sky. If the air carrying the water cools, the water vapor can condense into tiny little droplets that form clouds, which you see practically every day in the sky. This is called condensation, the second step of the water cycle. If the water droplets become heavy enough, then they fall to the Earth's surface as precipitation in the form of rain, snow, sleet, or hail. This is the third step of the cycle, which is called precipitation. The precipitation that reaches the ground and flows onto the surface of the Earth is called runoff. Precipitation that can be absorbed into the soil and then is called groundwater, which can enter the roots of plants or flow into rivers and streams and oceans. Sometimes the groundwater goes deep enough that it becomes part of underground reservoirs. This is accumulation. Then the cycle starts again. The next cycle of matter is the nitrogen cycle. All organisms require nitrogen to make amino acids, which are used to build nucleic acids, which combine to form DNA and RNA and proteins. Many different forms of nitrogen occur naturally in the biosphere. Nitrogen gas makes up 78% of the Earth's atmosphere. That's a lot. Although nitrogen gas is the most abundant form of nitrogen on Earth, only certain types of bacteria can use this form directly. The bacteria live in the soil and on the roots of certain plants such as peanuts, peas, legumes like beans. Bacteria convert nitrogen gas into ammonia in a process known as nitrogen fixation. Other soil bacteria convert that fixed nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites. Once these forms of nitrogen are available, primary producers can use them to make proteins and nucleic acids. Consumers eat the producers and reuse nitrogen to make their own nitrogen-containing compounds. Decomposers release nitrogen from waste and dead organisms as ammonia, nitrates, and nitrites that producers may take up again. Other soil bacteria obtain energy by converting nitrates into nitrogen gas, which is released into the atmosphere in a process called denitrification. A relatively small amount of nitrogen gas is converted into usable forms by lightning in a process called atmospheric nitrogen fixation. Humans add nitrogen to the biosphere through the manufacture and use of fertilizers. Excess fertilizer is often carried into surface water or groundwater by precipitation. And there you go, you now know about the cycles of matter.